Welcome to St. Pius X. I'm Miss Glenda, and I'm excited to be here again with you on this fourth week in Ordinary Time. Ordinary Time is a church season, and we get the word ordinary from the word order, which means numbered. The weeks in Ordinary Time are numbered because we are counting the weeks either between or to a feast of preparation or celebration. So we have about 3 weeks till we change seasons. What are we going to be headed to next? Our gospel note for the week comes from the Gospel of Mark. It is about a man who was sitting in a synagogue listening to Jesus teach. They were in a small town called Capernaum. The passage from Mark tells us that this man had an unclean spirit, which was tormenting him. And while Jesus is teaching, he stands up and yells at Jesus. And what we witness next is so much love and mercy from our Savior. You know, when someone yells at me, I get defensive and angry. But Jesus, no. Jesus looks at him with love and shows him the greatest mercy. He sees this man and he knows what he needs. He rebukes and drives out that unclean spirit so his soul and body are healed, which amazed all the other people who were there listening. We don't talk about this often, but unclean spirits still exist, and they're trying to work against God to encourage us to do wrong things and hurt others or ourselves. Thankfully, Jesus never abandons us. He is always with us, and he is way, way more powerful. So, if you're ever scared or sad or hurting, Jesus sees you. He looks at you with love and waits for you with open arms to call upon him for strength and healing. And that's what our Catholic fact is for today. Come on, I'll show you. Our Catholic fact today are the sacraments of healing, especially the sacrament of reconciliation. Let's review the sacraments before we talk about reconciliation. The sacraments are a special sign of God's love for us that Jesus gave the church. They do 3 things. 1, the sacraments unite us to Christ and one another. 2, they use signs and symbols to help us understand what's happening spiritually at a deeper level. And 3, they give us gifts and strengths to help us share Jesus with the world. There are 7 sacraments. Last week we talked about the first 3, the sacraments of initiation, baptism, confirmation, and Eucharist. Those sacraments bring us into a relationship with Christ and the church. Today, this week, we're talking about the sacraments of healing. While Jesus was here on this earth, his mission was to bring us back to God. And he does that through forgiveness and healing. And before Jesus left this earth, he commissioned his disciples to continue his work, which they do to this day. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about the sacrament of reconciliation. I am about to go into this reconciliation room here at St. Pius. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Let's look around. You can see here we have, if you would like to give an anonymous confession, you'll see the act of contrition sitting here on the kneeler. Over here we have the chair where you would sit, across from the chair where the priest would sit. I like this because they have the stole here, which the priest wears when he is acting as Christ. Also, you'll notice a candle on this bookshelf here, which reminds us of Christ's presence. So this can be a really difficult room to come into sometimes, if you know what I mean. But I love this sacrament because this sacrament here, we encounter God's love and mercy. I know it is hard. Nobody ever likes admitting that they're wrong or that they've done something wrong, especially to someone that they love. But that part is always hard and humbling. But I do like the feeling afterwards, hearing God's own word saying, "You are forgiven." I don't deserve it, but because He loves me, He shows me mercy and He welcomes me back to Him every single time. I invite you to experience God's love and mercy in this sacrament sometime soon. Before I say goodbye for today, I wanted to give you a little note about our Old Testament story for the week. I can't wait for you to meet Rahab. Rahab's story is one of faith and reconciliation. It involves spies and destruction of all. Rahab was a sinful woman, but her belief that the God of Israel was powerful and to be feared led her to make a very dangerous decision. In turn, God saves her and her family from death, and she ends up playing an important role in the salvation of us all. And that is our note for today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see you next time. Take care.